My connection to my home and my community is core to my identity. I feel loved, safe, and a sense of responsibility to myself and those around me. My mother lived her life as a servant leader, and I have inherited that spirit of philanthropy and an overwhelming discomfort of seeing people in need. So when I saw the humanitarian crisis taking place a mere 7 miles away, I knew that I had to do something to make a difference. Mass hunger, widespread diseases, hyperinflation, and astronomical crime and mortality rates have resulted in over 4 million Venezuelans fleeing their homeland in the hope of a better life for themselves and their families. Trinidad and Tobago has received the highest numbers of Venezuelan migrants per capita than any other country in the region. It is estimated that more than 40,000 Venezuelan migrants have fled their homeland and risked the perilous journey to Trinidad and Tobago. Their stories are truly heart-wrenching.
The boat that we came on, as it was illegal, it rose about 3 meters above the sea and fell several times. I arrived with many bruises on my body. Horrible. My daughter didn't get any because I was protecting her. It was my first time on a boat and arriving to another country. Too much. I was so scared. We all were holding hands and praying to God because we were very scared. And when we arrived, it was like, wow. My last memory of Venezuela was saying goodbye to my family. My mom came with me to the dock where the boat was going to sail from when I came to Trinidad.
They have made the sacrifice and taken the risk in search of one thing: hope. Hope to eat, hope to have access to medication and healthcare, hope for peace, hope to learn, hope to just live. This is why my Peace with a Purpose project is entitled Project Esperanza. It is aimed to help create a better tomorrow by building bridges, not walls. Though forced migration is a global issue, this was my country's first direct experience on such a large scale. It was only given, similar to developing countries throughout the world, that concerns about the welfare of our own citizens came to question.
Now we are to wait double the amount of time because we are overpopulated by Venezuelans.
Get them out, let us regroup and focus on ourselves. We might attempt to regularize them. That is creating a bigger problem.
As these opinions grew overwhelmingly popular, I recognized that I must first use my platform to create a space of understanding and foster a climate of accommodation. I was committed to challenging anti-immigrant stigma and the way we treated with people who may look and speak differently. This was the impetus behind my media campaign. The use of social media, visiting schools throughout the country, newspaper interviews, and appearances on television and radio stations were some of the forums used to sensitize our population. However, I wanted to do more than just shed light to the unique and traumatic experiences of people who are displaced. My social work and social policy experience informed my next step towards integration. I directed my efforts to the recognition of the rights of those most vulnerable among the Venezuelan migrant population, the children. Venezuelan children have been displaced from their homes to a strange place with a foreign culture and a language that they don't understand. Migrant children are unable to attend public schools, and as a result, groups of children were being locked up in small, cramped spaces, unsupervised and scared as their parents left for hours on end in an attempt to provide food for their families. I was privileged to partner with an organization who set out to provide a safe space for Venezuelan migrant children and to recognize their inalienable right to an education. In addition to helping the organization develop a sustainable model to better serve the growing number of students, I saw this as an opportunity to build bridges between migrants and the local citizenry. I embarked on weekly interactive sessions where I sourced organizations and volunteers who specialized in certain universal languages to facilitate sessions that would promote the exchange of culture, dance, music, food, agriculture, and sports, created a space for beautiful connections to be made that transcended the language barrier and welcomed the opportunity for us to pay more emphasis on the things that bring us all together, our humanity. Since then, I have had people seek out to my cause to collaborate and donate to this marginalized population. I was able to help provide school supplies to the children, equipping them with the tools necessary to change their future. By partnering with the US Embassy, children and their families were able to access healthcare services, including vaccination. More non-governmental and faith-based organizations have opened their doors and started new migrant child-friendly spaces throughout the country. I have since adopted other centers in different parts of the country to increase the number of children that can have access to these services. Most noteworthily, the testimonies of the change in people's opinions and language towards Venezuelan migrants have given me such fulfillment. Where before there was fear and hate, it has now been replaced by compassion and an appreciation that is our differences that make us Trinbagonians who we are.
Know that we had Venezuelans in Trinidad, but I didn't think of them as trying to live their lives normally and how they would adjust to our way of life. But afterwards, the energy that was generated in the backyard when we played songs for them and how they enjoyed it, and it was nice.
The success of Project Esperanza is evidence that all countries, no matter their size or circumstance, can lend a helping hand to those in need. Although there is so much more that we can do, I believe that Trinidad and Tobago can be a beacon of hope, one where, as our national anthem states, every creed and race find an equal place. And it is my hope that it can be used as a model to help refugees around the world.